Hello friends, welcome to IT Job Pulse. Today is the 12th video of PMP training program. So this is a second part. In the first part, in the 11th video, we discovered about estimation in waterfall methodology. Now today we're going to be exploring both agile and hybrid as well. So agile estimation, fun ride version, okay? We'll have some fun together while doing this. What do we use? Okay. In Agile, we don't say this task will take exactly 3.5 hours. Instead of that, we say this task feels like a medium, maybe a large if the coffee runs out. When we talk about waterfall, we have got the fixed requirements. Okay, so we can give exact timings for that. Like let's say 3.5 hours is the timeline given. But when we talk about agile Scrum framework, we are developing something new, and the requirements are not clear. High level requirements are clear, but we can change that based on the customer feedback, user feedback. That's why we say it's like a medium, maybe, or a large. Okay. So story points, the secret sauce. Estimation of the work is done through story points in Agile. So story points are like giving tasks a weight based on how complex and effort heavy they are. Now, while giving story points, we think about the categories like uh, complexity and the amount of effort, whether it is heavy or light. So you will understand now. They help teams understand, is this task light as a feather or as heavy as moving your best friend's furniture, right? So imagine your friend is relocating. So the house is changing from one house to another house. You are moving the equipments. Now, if you are moving a lightweight equipment like a bucket, okay, in a one hand you can just carry it. But if it is about moving the furniture, the difficulty level is increasing for moving the furniture item like cupboard or anything. So this is the way we give story points. With moving slides, you will understand very well. So now the next factor is velocity, that is the team's speedometer. Okay. Velocity is equal to how many story points your team can complete in a sprint. Now we have decided the tasks. We have given story points. Okay. So velocity is a measurement of how many story points you are able to complete in a given sprint. Now, most of the time, velocity is considered for the productivity metrics. However, it is not, because in Agile we are consistently figuring it out because we are developing something new. So velocity is for improvement, like how best we can do, but it is not a productivity measure. Okay, and the velocity helps us predict how fast we can finish the work. So it's again approximate number velocity. Okay. So that's why think of it as your team's speed on the highway without the speeding tickets. Okay. So there are no speeding tickets, and you are measuring the velocity, and that is the team's speed of doing the work. How do we estimate? Okay, so there are three types of methods which I am familiar with. That is, first one is Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so this is a very common method used for estimation. Okay, because things don't always grow in a nice even steps. Sometimes tasks explode in size unexpectedly, like your to-do list on a Monday morning. So if you see, some of the tasks will require more time as we start working on the function or the epic or the user story. Some may require one story point, some may require eight story point, but we are doing that estimation based on the understanding of the team and the complexity of the requirement. Okay. Second is planning poker. Here, it's a game of cards. Like you give the vote for the size of each task, and it's like no picking. The big reveal often sparks great discussions, okay? And sometimes giggles when someone votes 100 for a 5-minute task. So, like, we are as a team giving the votes, okay? And at the end, everyone reveals their score. And let's say we understand that, someone has given 100 votes for 5-minute task, okay? So it's a team activity, it's a fun activity, okay? And then t-shirt sizing, tasks are sized as small, medium, large, extra large, okay? But, you know, see, this is again, we are trying to give the estimation like it is a small task, a medium task, large task, or extra large task, okay? So like here, no double Excel task, right? So same goes for here in Fibonacci sequence that, once we give any task like 13 story points, then we have to again divide that or break that into 1 to 8. What does that mean? That we can give only up to 8. Okay. Ideally, you can give 13 as well, but the goal is to have, break down the task to the smallest one. Okay. So please remember that, you give numbers till 8, and in t-shirt sizing also, you give it till XL only, no double XL. Okay. Now, quick example. So I have taken example of a build a loan management system. So there are three user stories. So what are the user stories? We will learn in other sessions, okay? But for an example, as a customer, I want to apply for a loan online. Now you need to think as a customer. So we have given 5 story points. As an agent, I want to approve loans through a dashboard. 8 story points. Why 8 story points? Because it's an evaluation. The system has to take some decisions, and an agent has to perform multiple steps here. So here it is given 8, here it is given 5. As an admin, I want to track loan disbursements. Now, the loan is applied, loan is approved, and it's just a matter of a disbursement. Okay. So admin has to perform only one activity, that is disbursement. Okay. So that's why it is given 3 story points. So total story points for the epic is equal to 5 plus 8 plus 3 is equal to 16 story points altogether. But here you need to remember one thing, that we are not doing the estimation for the complete epic directly. It's the estimation happening for the user stories. Okay. Now the Scrum team as a whole, okay, primarily developers, development team, they are the ones doing the work, so they estimate the effort. Okay. Now, in some organization, it might be the practice that, product owner is giving story points, project manager is giving story points. Okay. But that's not the standard practice followed in the Scrum environment. Okay. So the developers are the one who gives the story points. Okay. Product owner, what is the role of a product owner in story points? They provide clarity on the requirements, but they don't do any kind of estimation. Okay. And then what is the role of a Scrum Master? Facilitates the estimation process, ensures everyone understands that, but does not give points. Okay. So this is a team activity, but the role of the product owner is to provide clarity on the requirements, but not to give estimation. No estimation is done by product owner or the Scrum Master. Imagine there is a situation that the team is giving story points. Okay. So Scrum Master is just facilitating the discussion, the activity. If like Scrum Master can help understand the activity, product owner will give clarity on the requirements. So this is how the story points are given. So this is how estimation is done in Agile, and yes, it's fun. So Agile estimation isn't about arguing for hours. It's about quick, collaborative, fast-paced decisions. Okay, and with that, it's simple, it's playful, and it helps teams to get the work moving instead of being stuck in never-ending estimation meetings. So why it is mentioned as never-ending estimation meetings? Because in waterfall, a quality amount of time like taken to finalize the requirements, because in waterfall, once the requirements are frozen, we cannot change. So that is the major difference between agile and waterfall. So let's do the comparison by the terms. Like in waterfall they call it project, in agile they call it product or a solution. So for both the things, like this is a project and this is a product and solution. So if you want to compare with agile and waterfall, so if you understand project very well, so that is considered here as a product or a solution. Same goes for other tasks as well. So the overall deliverable, okay, and deliverable is written here is as epic, big high level chunk of work. Work package is nothing but user stories here in Agile, small manageable unit of work, activity, task, subtask, actionable steps to complete the user story. Now, if you notice this table, then you will understand that the goal of both methodologies is to understand high level requirement and then break it down to again sub high level requirement and then break it down into the small tasks. So I will say that the major difference is about change. Okay, how we can change fast in agile versus waterfall. It is very difficult to have some changes. Now I have given you one more table: agile versus waterfall versus hybrid, the showdown. Okay, now here it's a self-explanatory. I will not get into the depth of it. So if you want, you can take the screenshot of this table and you can learn it. And also, if you get any doubts, you can comment in the comment section or you can Google as well, because these all points I have covered in my previous videos consistently. So this is just a table for your reference when we consider waterfall, when we consider agile and hybrid. So in a high level, in nutshell, I will give the comparison. Okay, that is waterfall, like baking a cake without testing the batter. You only find out if it's good at the end. Now, when we are making a cake, so the recipe is finalized, okay? So once you start cooking, you cannot make any changes. So at the end, once the final cake is made, then only you will be able to understand the taste of it and the outcome of it. Now, if I talk about agile, we can consider making a pizza where you can add extra cheese halfway through. You can add cheese or any other ingredients also you can add in pizza. We can make changes in pizza. We can actually test the pizza in the first, let's say, if I compare with the making a cake, okay? So in the waterfall methodology, you cannot test the cake also, okay? At any stage, only at the end you can test it. So in Agile, we are making a pizza and we can have some taste of it in the beginning. We can develop some simple pizza in the first month, and we can actually make changes in the pizza as per the requirements, and also wherever we want we can add extra cheese also. This is how agile works. And when I talk about hybrid, like cooking a meal where the rice is strictly measured, okay, but the curry can have extra spices if needed. So some part is fixed in hybrid and some part is customizable in hybrid. So with my experience, I can say that uh, very rarely you will see that some companies following agile very strictly. Okay, agile and scrum framework. Mostly you will find this as hybrid. So when you are giving answers, consider giving answers in hybrid. In the interview, I'm saying, okay, when to use what? Waterfall is great when the requirements are clear, what you want to build. Then example, you can consider a simple example that you are building a bridge. Okay, so we don't want to make any changes in the bridge. Ajay, perfect when things are likely to change. Like developing a new app with user feedback coming in hot. Imagine you are developing a mobile application and you have, like, this is something new. Example like AI fashion designer is the app which you want to develop. So if you do the market research, then you understand that there are few apps which are giving recommendations, okay? But it is not the real-time recommendation. Like imagine like this is the camera which you are able to see here. Now, whatever apps available in the market, they are just giving a text-based recommendations. And again, they are not measuring your skin tone, They are not doing any measurements of your body. Now, when we want to develop this kind of a product, we have to use Agile because the requirements are not yet clear. What you are building also, that is not available in the market. So if it is not happened in the past, then Agile is the best here. So hybrid, best when some parts need to be strict, but others can flex, like regulated software with creative front-end design. So the best example I can say software as a service. Imagine there's a already solution available in the market. There's already some technologies doing that. So some part we can take it as fixed and some part is customizable as per the requirement of the product. So in summary, multiple techniques are available depending on project needs. Okay. Selection depends on very available data, required accuracy and project phase. Then estimation should be collaborative, data driven and documented. Good estimates don't predict the future, they just give it a nice boundary to play in. When we take the example of any sports, when we start, let's say we are playing against a new team, then we have to figure it out things as we play, okay? But if we are playing against the same opponent, then we know what techniques to be used, okay? And that is how the estimation is like, it's not about, let's consider a huddle, let's consider a football match. You are doing a huddle and you're just talking about like what all things will look like, okay? You plan things, okay? But mostly that's the message of it. It's not about predicting the future, but it's just like a overview or visualization of what we are trying to achieve. And with time we figure out things in Agile. In waterfall, things are very much clear, okay, and we cannot change. But in hybrid, some things are certain, that is fixed. Few things can be changed. Few things have option of flexibility. Okay. So right estimation is equal to right expectations and happy stakeholders, right? Because see, imagine a situation it can be any methodology. You are not doing any kind of planning, you are not doing any kind of estimation, then you will not be able to meet the expectations. And if you don't meet the expectations, then what's going to happen? Stakeholders will take the product away from you or the product or the project from you. So with that, I think you have got a good understanding of estimation. If you have any questions, happy to answer that. Please comment your questions in the comment box. Till then, I will meet you in the next video, that is 13th video. Thank you for watching. Catch you soon. Bye bye.